Alright guys, good morning. How's everybody doing today? This is Cobra here with a Bitcoin update for you. Just wanted to go over basically what's going on, give you guys a little update. Today is January 8th. It's Tuesday. It's 8:30 in the morning, bright and early. I've been up for quite some time today, and I just want to give an update on what's going on. So if you go ahead and you see here, we had this, obviously this long downtrend channel that we stayed in for quite some time. And I had originally painted a major target that we were going to be coming on down here. So that invalidated my count for the larger trend, because what ended up happening? Well, we didn't even come down to the median line here. In fact, we used our 618 as support, and we kind of stayed in this area between 618 and 236 for some time, just kind of ranged in here for I don't know, looks like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then we ended up breaking out of the channel here with a big green candle on the first, and then we ended up coming up above the 382, and we used that as support. So it doesn't look like we're going to be coming back down into this channel. If we are, it's not going to be happening anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead here and just kind of make this a little lighter here. Okay. Kind of fade that. So this was my area target originally for that, somewhere in this area between $31 and $3,400. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. So as the count has gone on here, this is on a 4-hour chart. This was actually a 5-wave sequence into the two. It was an ABC of this degree right here with the orange, and then on the smaller degree we went into a little 5-wave sequence. We corrected another 5-wave sequence into the one of the larger degree, and this is pretty much where I think we're going to be headed now. So there's going to be two options for this. This is my bullish count, and this can get invalidated in only one way. So I'm going to go ahead and explain that here in just a minute. So basically we've had our our correction, and we're working on a 5-wave sequence into the third wave of this larger trend. And I feel like on the way up, we've got some pretty bullish candles going on here. We've got our 200 MA that actually just crossed this green and my orange. Those are my that's actually the 10 and the 20. My purple is the 50. So really bullish cross here across both of these, and when the 10 and the 20 cross, that's when we got this big green candle here. You can see just as soon as that cross happened, you can see the positive DI here on my DMI indicator. It just rocketed up way over the 25 level. We got a really big green candle, but then right after that the momentum started dying down, and the reason why this happens is because this is something that a lot of algo and auto traders and stuff are using. They use those exponential moving averages to base their trades off of automatically. So that's why that ended up happening here. It was also on the stochastic. Let me get rid of this thing. On the stochastic, we were also bottomed out right here, which is a really strong buy signal when you see it pivot like this. So this candle would have been a really solid buy move, even though it didn't show that kind of information on the DMI indicator. At that point, the negative DI, which is the bearish momentum, was decreasing. And as soon as this pivoted here on this green candle, that would have been a really strong buy signal. On this cross right here, once this crossed and we start getting this candle, that would have been a great buy signal right here. So that's really awesome for everybody that got in on this little bump up right here. To me, if you're a pattern trader, this kind of looks like we're starting to form a bullish pennant here. You can kind of see a clear triangle forming here, and pennants and channels and triangles and all those things, those are all continuation patterns, right? So what's going to end up happening here, if this is a bullish pennant, is our pennant's going to form. It's going to, you know, be something like this here, right? Got a pennant forming, and then what normally ends up happening is you end up going up. So I'm not a super, I'm not super big on pattern trading at the moment. I'm more of an Elliot wave trader and trading off the Fibonacci levels and stuff like that. You everybody that watches my videos kind of knows that. But if you're a pattern trader, this is a pretty cut and dry pattern to be trading off of. So in terms of targets, this is kind of where I'm setting my targets for these. I'm going to move these over a little bit just because the time frame I think is going to take a little longer for this. But basically overall, our bullish momentum here on the positive DI has been staying above the 25 mark, which is good. So has the ADX, which is a strong sign that this is going to be a continuation of bullish momentum here. Again, with using indicators. Also, here we have another cross on this green candle when we broke through our 236 level of this main trend. That's bullish. This is bullish. This is also pretty bullish down here that it's staying above the 25 mark. So I think that this count is going to hold true. Now we do have resistance levels along the way. We're using this 236 at about $4,100 now. That's going to be one of our new support levels. And in the future, once we start working our way up to that, hopefully today, this is going to be, am I on a 4 hour? Let's go ahead and go down to a 1 hour chart here so I can kind of get into the details so that you can see exactly where these levels are. All right, so on the way up, we're going to have this resistance level here at about 41.65. We're going to have a resistance level here at about $4,200. And after that, if you scroll left, we also have historical resistance right here at about 42.15. So you can put another line, around this area here. So I'll go ahead and make these red real fast. Now, nothing says that we absolutely have to reject from these levels. These are just levels of known support and resistance, obviously identified through price action, where you can see where all these wicks, clear support and resistance. So on our way up, we are going to have a lot of support and resistance levels to end up breaking through. However, our volume has been increasing slowly, which I'm pretty excited to see, actually. That's normally a very good sign. I think as long as our positive DI stays above here on the 25 mark, I think that we should be in some pretty good shape. Once we end up breaking through, if we don't get rejected from 41.65 again, like we did here, I think we should be in good shape to be able to validate this count. So in terms of targets, this is where I end up having my 3. And this would also be the completion of our 5 wave of the smaller degree into the 3. So with that being said, we would be completing and starting to complete our 3rd wave of the main trend. So if this ends up being a truncated 5th, it doesn't necessarily invalidate the count. However, if we get rejected by these levels and we can't turn any of these levels into support, what's going to end up happening is when we do reject, if we come down, once we fall below this level, around 39, 37-ish, maybe 39.65-ish or whatever, If we fall below this level right here, I'm gonna draw a little box. If we fall below this level, it's pretty much gonna invalidate this bullish count. And you know, as you guys are all familiar with Elliott wave, counts get invalidated all the time. You know, this is just our, you know, you use Elliott wave to kind of just get an understanding for where the market is and where it can go, but nothing says that all of this is, you know, ever going to be 100%. So at the end of the day, I did move all of these over here. So of the larger trend here, I've got a 4 down here at a 50% retracement. This could go deeper. However, again, that would invalidate the bullish count. So there's a lot of ways that this bullish count can get invalidated, and I know that's not what people want to hear right now, but that puts the 5-wave target up here around almost $4,700. I want to say about $4,675, which is a pretty reasonable target when you consider everything. So if you look left and you see that's actually going to be right at another historical support and resistance level right here, around 4,700. You know, this area right here, support and resistance historically. So that's pretty much where I see us standing right now. This downtrend channel, I mean, I'm going to keep this here, but I might as well just kind of do one of these numbers and just kind of turn it off for now, because I don't really see us falling back into that. And if we do, it's not going to be anytime soon. I do feel like 2019 is going to be bullish. However, I don't think we're going to be bullish right from the start. Now, we did have a very strong pivot down here. It was a very strong pivot point, and we formed a lot of support at this level. Do I think that we're completely out of the woods? We really need this right here is going to be our new major level of support from this trend. This was a very strong pivot. This was also a very strong pivot, because when we came down to test previous lows that weren't so far in the past, you know, just back here in December, this level held very strongly. So I think that this is pretty much our new main level of baseline support. And, you know, as we slowly work our way up over time, you know, if you wanted to, you could probably draw, you know, a channel here. You know, if you start it from here, you know, you can see we are progressing upwards, which is obviously a very good sign. People are tired of the pain. People are tired of, you know, just everything that's been going on. So for us to start progressing upwards like this and just really start making a baseline of support, it shows strength. It shows that Bitcoin's getting, you know, we're getting some upward momentum. We're getting some positive, you know, volume and stuff like that. So I think that I haven't seen very many people draw a channel here like this, but I really think that, you know, this is probably where we're going to end up being for quite some time. We're going to end up bouncing around in here and kind of see what happens. Now, the downside to this is that if you really want to look at this negatively, you know, this would be considered, you know, a big bear flag, where we'd end up be doing one of these, which is totally possible. But for now, this is just a parallel channel. You know, if it ends up becoming a bear flag, then so be it. But, you know, it really comes down to this base level support, which actually ends up lining up with this, you know, parallel channel that I just drew. If we end up coming down here, and especially this would obviously invalidate the bullish count, like I said, but if we end up breaking through this, then we're going to see previous lows that we've reached before, and that would not be a good sign, because we don't know exactly how deep we're going to go just like last time. No one knew where the bottom was until we finally pivoted here at about, you know, $3,200 or whatever it was. It was a very, very deep. We went pretty deep there. Some people are still calling for, you know, deeper. Some people are still calling for these levels down here, this $2,600, $2,500 level. You know, it is still possible that that could happen. You know, if the bear market is not over, if we're due for, you know, one more leg down still. But for right now, let's, you know, play it safe, stay positive, and remember, you know, always let the market, you know, come to you. Never force a trade or anything like that. It just doesn't work. You're going to end up losing money that way. If you're trading against the trend right now and you've been shorting this whole time and just kind of scalping these, you know, mediary waves and stuff, yeah, you can totally do that, and it's a good way to make money. You know, if you've got an account on BitMEX or whatever you're doing, but just be very careful doing that. Trading against a trend is never recommended. I mentioned this in almost every single video, and if you are going to do that, always set a tight stop loss. You can always, you know, keep poking at it to get a successful trade. You know, and eventually you will have a successful one, but you know, you're always going to lose a little bit more than you win, but the way that you end up making money is limiting that risk. So you know, and you do that by setting stop losses, obviously. So until next time, guys, this is pretty much all I have for you today. Check out the link to the Discord down below. I have redone the entire Discord and partnered with my good friend Vinny as well as David Gockstein, and we're going to be making and coming out with some more products and everything. Go ahead and follow us on our Twitters and go ahead and join our free Discord and stuff. I post charts in there almost every single day, lots of discussion, and I post links directly to all of my videos and tutorials, some of which are for members only. So go ahead and feel free to check that out. Other than that, have a nice day and happy trading.